Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Hi, good morning. It is Wednesday, October 13th. And we are standing by for an ABC special news report of the Blue Origin launch in West Texas, but it has been delayed.
As you may know, actor William Shatner will be on board. You're looking live right now at the Blue Origin feed. You see T-minus 32 minutes and counting. We don't know why there is the delay, but right now we're aiming for launch right around 9:30 San Antonio time. Again, you're looking live out in Van Horn, Texas. And you see those people there at the bottom of your screen climbing up the gangway towards the launch platform. That includes actor William Shatner. They showed him just a little while ago riding up in a van. They stopped just outside the gangway there to take some pictures and now working their way up to get on board. Everybody in a great mood, beautiful blue skies. And I tell you what, they're timing it just right with all the weather that's moving into Texas in the next day or so.
That's true. Looks good out there, though, and very exciting times. 90 years old, heading out into space.
I want to remind you that we are tracking this story. We will go to ABC's coverage when that happens, and we've set up a live stream on KSAT.com.
For now, let's look outside here locally at Live Cam. We're about 78 degrees, pretty humid out there.
Very humid. Looks very different from that shot out in Van Horn, doesn't it? A lot of cloud cover, a lot of low-hanging clouds. We'll see quite a bit of cloud cover through the day. Not much rain this morning. We're really not seeing all that much on radar. We're not expecting much through the afternoon, but it's once we get into tonight that we do have some concerns and that heavy rain will start to shift in. Let's look at the radar. We see some showers out there. They're light though, and there's not much here around San Antonio. You got to go up towards Sonora before you run into some of those showers that are working towards maybe the San Angelo area, moving off to the north and east. Pollen count is in. Molds and ragweed are on the low end. Want to pass that along. It's possible though that molds kick up tomorrow because we are going to see some of that rain. There's all the cloud cover. It's quite extensive. Temperatures 79 at the airport, 83 Stinson, 78 Hondo, 72 right now in Los Maples. And temperatures today will make it into the mid 80s. We'll start to see those rain chances bump up as we get towards 5 o'clock, even 8 p.m. as some of that rain starts to move in from west to east. And we do have a flash flood watch that is in effect until tomorrow. Basically, I-35 points west. That's where we are expecting the heaviest of the rain overnight. As we get into tonight, here's a look at the rain chances. 80% midnight through 3 a.m. 6 a.m. I think we still have a pretty good shot at some rain. There could be a few strong storms mixed in there too. And the rain chances will start to taper off by midday tomorrow. And we'll get some clearing. We'll be here for you. We'll keep you updated. Have that KSAT weather app with you. We'll update you there. And we'll have more on this forecast coming up in just a couple minutes, guys.
Yeah, still lots to talk about there. Thank you very much, Justin. Right now, let's take a look at TransGuide right now. We had an accident out there at 10 eastbound at Callahan, but it looks like it is now cleared out and traffic is running smoothly in those inbound lanes.
And for now, let's look at today's 9 at 9.
President Biden will sign the bill passed by House lawmakers to raise the debt ceiling by $480 billion. The bill will allow the government to keep paying its bills into early December and avoid a default. Another fight will come in early December to fund a long-term funding solution.
As dozens of cargo ships sit idle off the West Coast, President Biden is expected to meet with the heads of the ports today to find solutions. Experts say there's no global effort to ensure the smooth operation of the logistics and transportation network, which means the shipping crisis could be around for longer than expected.
Nation's average COVID caseload at its lowest point in more than 2 months, but experts say it's far too early to let our guard down. A former FDA commissioner says the virus is a winter pathogen, meaning it circulates more during the colder months. This as America still awaits FDA approval of a vaccine for children under 11 years old.
A Wyoming coroner released the autopsy for Gabby Petito Tuesday. The report shows she died of strangulation. The coroner also says Gabby's body was in the wilderness for 3 to 4 weeks before she was found. Meanwhile, her fiance, Brian Laundrie, is still nowhere to be found.
The Supreme Court expected to hear arguments today on the government's request to reinstate the death penalty for Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, the surviving Boston Marathon bomber. He remains in isolation at a federal penitentiary.
A major recall by the FDA for this Parents' Choice Rice Baby cereal. You can find this at Walmart. The FDA says they found high levels of arsenic in the cereal during routine testing. No illnesses have been reported so far. If you have this in your pantry, throw it out or return it to Walmart for a full refund.
Rich Bisaccia will be formally announced as the Las Vegas Raiders interim head coach today. Bisaccia replaces John Gruden, who resigned this week after evidence of homophobic, racist, and other offensive comments were brought to light.
Financial experts say home prices are expected to shoot up by another 16% by the end of next year. Home prices are already at record highs, climbing about 20% over the past year.
The global computer chip shortage taking a bite out of Apple's production. Bloomberg says it's cutting iPhone targets by as many as 10 million phones. And that is today's 9 at 9. 9:03, about 78 degrees. Still ahead on GMSA at 9.
So coming up after the break, we're going to talk about Governor Abbott and the new vaccine mandate.
Right now, you're looking live at Van Horn, where we are 27 minutes away from the launch of Captain Kirk into space. You're looking live again as the passengers are about to enter the launch capsule, and they are shaking hands there with Amazon's founder and Blue Origin funder, Jeff Bezos himself.
And welcome back. It's 9:07. On Monday, Texas Governor Greg Abbott banned any entity, including private businesses, from mandating coronavirus vaccines for workers or customers. Abbott's move puts him at odds with some large corporations and with the Biden administration.
KSAT digital journalist Ferris Sabawi joins us this morning. Good morning, Ferris.
Hey, good morning. How are y'all?
We're good. Let's talk about this mandate mess. How does Governor Abbott's order conflict with federal orders?
Yeah, Mark. So this mandate against mandates, does come up into conflict with the federal government. I believe it was last month in September that President Joe Biden had issued an order basically directing any employers with that have more than 100 employees. They would either have to, they would have to mandate vaccines for their employees or have their employees undergo weekly testing if they are not vaccinated. And so that seems to conflict, that seems to contradict with Abbott's order, which came earlier this week. And Abbott's order said that any private business in Texas, regardless of size, regardless of anything, they are not allowed to mandate vaccinations at all from their employees. So you can see the conflict here. We talked to a UTSA political science professor, John Taylor, yesterday, and Taylor told us this will most likely end up in the Supreme Court after a long court battle. However, it does look like federal law takes precedence in this case.
And Ferris, talk about the larger businesses. Tell us how they have reacted to Abbott's order.
Yeah, Stephanie. So Abbott's mandate actually happened to come right after Southwest and American Airlines, two Texas-based airlines, announced that they will be mandating vaccines for their employees. So it almost seemed like this mandate might have been done in response to these large corporations in Texas mandating the vaccine. And so when they were contacted yesterday, both Southwest and American Airlines both said they don't feel like they have a choice, that they have to continue with this vaccine mandate to stay in compliance with federal law. A couple of other large corporations, too, like Facebook, for example, which, houses a lot of people in Texas, they also said that they are just going to follow through with the vaccine mandate. So a lot of the large corporations, especially the ones that do businesses in multiple states, it doesn't look like they're going to follow Abbott's order, and it'll be interesting to see how that progresses.
What should smaller businesses do?
Yeah, Mark, we talked to a litigation attorney yesterday, Edward Allred, who told us that, first of all, that businesses should check with their own legal representatives, talk to their lawyers, and see what their lawyers suggest. But besides that, a kind of general rule of thumb here seems to be, what is your business's size? If you employ less than 100 employees, you are more likely to have to follow Abbott's order for now. If you are one of those larger businesses with more than 100 employees, then it's probably better for you to stick to the federal orders. I think one quick thing to note here, too, is that really the enforcement mechanism isn't exactly clear. In Abbott's executive order, he said that anyone who violates this order could be subject to paying a fine, but cannot be jailed at all for this violation. And that would mean that it's up to the district attorney to pursue these claims of violation. We reached out to the Bexar County District Attorney's Office yesterday. They did not give us an answer on whether or not Joe Gonzalez will pursue these claims. But when we asked Bexar County Judge Nelson Wolf yesterday during the COVID-19 briefing, Wolf said that he really hopes and does not think that Joe Gonzalez will be enforcing any violations with regards to this executive order. So it really just kind of shows you both, the patchwork system we have with the federal vaccine mandate and Abbott's order. And it also shows you that, even the enforcement mechanisms and the penalties aren't exactly clear, especially if district attorneys themselves won't really pursue these claims.
All right. Thank you. KSAT digital journalist Ferris Sabawi. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Justin Horn is back now talking about our weather, and looks can be deceiving, especially when you look outside right now, Justin.
Yeah, it's quiet right now, and I don't know that we're going to see a whole lot through the day today. It's tonight. That's kind of what we're zeroing in on, and I think that's going to be the busy period with some showers and storms, and we probably will see some flooding in spots. Let's first start with the radar, show you what we have out there right now. Some showers, even a few thunderstorms well off to our north and west, and that's sort of the corridor that will be seeing the rain this afternoon. Northwest of our viewing area here is where we're seeing some of the showers and storms, and that's along a frontal boundary that's kind of stalled out there across central Texas. We have seen a few light showers, and certainly possible today. Just don't think we're going to see widespread rain. As we zoom out some, you can get a better idea of what's happening here with the weather pattern. Here's our big upper level low. On the backside of it, snow across parts of Wyoming and Montana. Then a line of storms stretching all the way back down into Texas. And that is that frontal boundary we spoke of. There is the low. And you look further south, we have high pressure in the Gulf of Mexico, and that is squeezing moisture right into Texas out of the Pacific, where we have our hurricane, which made landfall, by the way, about an hour ago there in the west coast of Mexico. That is Pamela. That's going to move right on up into Texas. We have that frontal boundary, so a lot of ingredients coming together here. Not to mention, we also have moisture from the Gulf of Mexico coming together to create a rain event. Here's the rain potential, and you can see where we think the swath of heaviest rain will be. San Antonio up towards Dallas, and we'll zoom in a little bit closer here. Now, these totals have come down just a little bit from what we were looking at yesterday, and that's because Pamela, not as strong. I still think we're going to see some good totals here. We're kind of splitting hairs, but 2 to 4 inches across the hill country, 1 to 2 inches potentially here around San Antonio, and this is general numbers here, but that's the idea. And there is a flash flood watch in effect, as we've mentioned. This is going to go through tomorrow and includes I-35 and points off to the west. Here's what our futurecast looks like. By the time we get to 5 o'clock, we're starting to see those showers and storms develop out west and along the Rio Grande. Those will work their way east overnight. This is around 10 o'clock. And we're starting to see some showers and storms make their way into San Antonio, some heavy rain across the hill country. And then we may see a few more rounds of some showers and storms through, say, 2, 3 o'clock, even a little bit more for the morning commute, potentially. If that happens, then we'll have some flooding concerns here in San Antonio, too. And then this will move east by midday, and we'll get some clearing by the afternoon. As far as the timeline goes, I think our best chance of rain is in the overnight period, midnight through 3 a.m. through about 6 a.m. That's when we could see a few strong storms, too. There's enough ingredients in the atmosphere where some of these storms could be on the strong side, something we'll watch closely. By 9 o'clock, 50% chance of rain noontime tomorrow, 30% chance and some clearing. I mentioned that severe weather risk. Most of the area is under marginal risk. That's low end, but there is a threat for a couple strong storms. Very quickly, 79 degrees outside. We are still reporting a little bit of light rain at the airport. 70s and 80s around the area. It's warm, it's humid. Dew points in the 70s, very sticky out there with a south and southeasterly wind. And the dew point tracker shows we'll have a lot of moisture in place through about Friday, but a front comes through and that dries us out for the weekend. The weekend forecast looks great. So here's the 7-day forecast. 30% chance of rain today, generally north and west of San Antonio, but a much better chance of rain tonight, 80% chance. 90 tomorrow. It clears out and it is going to get fairly warm by the afternoon. And Friday, mostly sunny, a very slight chance of a shower as a front comes through, turns windy. 77 Saturday, will be breezy on Saturday, and then 49 Sunday morning. And next week will be in the low 80s on both Monday and Tuesday. Max?
All right, Justin, thank you so much. So Startup Week is happening right now, right here in the Alamo City. This year's theme all about looking into the future, dreaming big for the city of San Antonio. We are joined now by the Startup Week organizer, Alexandra Fry. Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us. So for those who don't know what Startup Week is, can you explain and kind of talk about why it's so important for the Alamo City?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I like to it's very simple. It's really a resource conference for all entrepreneurs in the city. It's somebody who's thinking about starting a business, somebody who has a small business. And then also we have events for small businesses looking for investors or how to scale their business. And so it's 100% open to the public, and it's complimentary thanks to some of our title sponsors.
We've seen the tech industry grow leaps and bounds over the last decade. So from your perspective, what does the future of the industry look like?
I mean, it's strong. We had a really great conversation with David Montague, who is the founding director of the School of Data Science for UTSA, which is being built literally across the street from where I'm standing. And just that alone, to have 10,000 students downtown San Antonio in a couple of years, I mean, it's going to change the game to be able to have that talent to plug into industry here in San Antonio.
Now, obviously, education plays such a vital role in the growth of the industry here, UTSA playing a huge part in that. Now, people have referenced other big cities in Texas as the tech hubs of Texas. Austin comes to mind, Houston, Dallas. Is San Antonio catching up to those other cities? And is the goal to become the next Austin?
I mean, I don't like to compare us to Austin. We can't compete with them, and we are so different in our own way and so unique in our culture here. Our goal, I would say, is definitely not to be the next Austin. Our goal is just to continue to grow what we have, the resources we have at our fingertips. I mean, we have such strong talent coming from the South, and so much growth with UTSA and the other universities making large moves here in San Antonio. So I do think the talent pipeline is going to be really strong and competitive against those other cities.
It's really crazy seeing San Antonio grow over the last few years. We see it growing up, we see it growing out, and we're seeing the tech industry actually physically shape the city. Now we're seeing that Houston Street area, kind of the Houston area corridor, if you will, where geekdom is now thriving. Port SA is flourishing. What do people in and around San Antonio need to know about the future of tech?
I mean, it's here to stay, and it's going to be, tech is in everything. And so I think that's a lot of what we try to kind of open people's eyes of how much more efficient their business could run if, what does the School of Data Science mean to them? What is the type of student that they're going to be producing, and how can that benefit their business? And so I think just keeping your eye out and kind of coming and joining the community, seeing if there's an event that we're hosting that looks interesting to you or you want to know more. I mean, our doors are always open, and we are always eager to teach people about what is to come of San Antonio and downtown. And exactly like you said, I mean, it's not just downtown, the Port SA and Velocity, and then geekdom. It's a joint collaborative effort, and we're all doing it together for San Antonio.
Our last question. You guys have an entire itinerary planned, some exciting stuff. What are the highlights, some of the top attractions you are most excited about?
Gosh, yeah, we've had 14 events thus far. I think we have over 50 left over the next week and a half. There's a great pitch event next Friday where anybody can pitch a product or their business idea to the board of Alamo inventors. We have geekdom's big 10-year celebration birthday party. But then we also have great conversations with university entrepreneurship leaders that are talking about what does it mean and how are they making sure that our students are ready for us. So if you head over to sasw.co, you can get the whole list of events that are coming up. Again, it's 100% open to the public, and anybody that wants to come, there is no cost. And so it's tons of networking too. And so it's really, really exciting.
All right, Alexandra, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Such an exciting time for San Antonio.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, Mark, Stephanie, you heard it. Startup Week happening right now. Exciting stuff.
Amanda, Max, thank you guys. Right now, 921, about 78 degrees.
Let's take a look outside at the roads with TransGuide this morning. There's a look at I-10 at Wurzbach Road. Things are looking good there.
This Hispanic Heritage Moment is brought to you by Taco Cabana.
In almost every culture, the transition of a girl into womanhood is a very important event. In the Hispanic culture, that is marked with the quinceañera. It's believed the quinceañera tradition started when the Spanish colonized Mexico, but others say its origins began with the Aztecs. Today, the quinceañera is celebrated all throughout the United States, Mexico, Central, and South America. The coordination of the event is a team effort with family and friends sponsoring different parts of the celebration. The quinceañera starts with a mass, then followed by a dinner and dance. At the reception, the young girl is dressed in a beautiful ball gown with a tiara and is presented with her last doll, a cross, and Bible. All the things she will need as she moves from girlhood into womanhood.
KSAT 12 presents another Day of the Dead story, Building the Ofrenda. Brought to you by Toyota.
Ofrenda means offering, and on November 1st, these altars welcome back our loved ones to the world of the living. They're built with many pieces and parts, and each of them has a specific purpose. When honoring your loved one, don't forget the salt. When a spirit makes its journey back to the world of the living, it's believed salt protects their soul from corruption during their stay. Salt also represents the earth, which is one of the Aztecs' 4 elements of nature. It's usually placed in clay vessels or in the shape of a cross on the bottom level beside other elements of purification. When your loved one's visit is over, make sure they're pure for their journey back. So don't forget the salt.
I can't believe how many of them are dead now.
Michael Keaton and company taking on the opioid epidemic in Dopesick.
I really didn't know the specifics of this.
Keaton plays a small-town doctor in the new limited series, which looks at the Sackler family and Purdue Pharma's role in creating and pushing OxyContin. Keaton telling me the series will make you angry.
How could you not be angry at something as large as Big Pharma, and in this case, we gotta say it, the Sackler family.
The first 3 episodes of Dopesick premiere today on Hulu.
Him in the darkness came.
A Grammy surprise seems the Recording Academy has decided Casey Musgrave's new album, Star-Crossed, is not country and will compete in the pop category. Her label not happy with the decision, saying voices like hers need to be encouraged in the genre, not shut out. Musgrave's last album, Golden Hour, won several country Grammys in 2019, including Best Country Album and the overall Album of the Year. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson still thinking about that presidential run, telling Vanity Fair he's actually gathered some data on a 2024 or 2028 campaign, and he says all indicators are positive. But he also admits he doesn't know the first thing about politics or policy.
The vision that was planted in my brain.
And celebrated singer Paul Simon with a birthday today. He's 80, while Borat creator and star Sacha Baron Cohen is 50. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Well, as you know, Halloween is right around the corner, which means fall festivities are happening right now.
And if you need help finding things to do for Halloween, we have a ton of resources on KSAT.com. And joining us this morning is KSAT digital journalist Rebecca Salinas. Good morning.
Good morning. How are y'all today?
We're good, Rebecca. How are you?
Good. I'm excited to be here, and I even have my black cat earrings on.
Oh, good.
Yes, you do.
Just in time for Halloween. Well, you know, speaking of that, first off, tell us about the article you just posted about trick-or-treating this year.
Yes. So this year's Halloween will look a little bit more like how it did in Halloween 2019, which was before the pandemic. And that is because Dr. Fauci and Dr. Rochelle Walensky with the CDC, they have actually given children the green light to go ahead and trick-or-treat outdoors. Now, Dr. Walensky says maybe avoid the packed Halloween parties, but if you're trick-or-treating in your small group, then that's just fine. Actually, Dr. Fauci even encouraged children to go out there and enjoy it because this is a new Halloween. This is a better Halloween than last year when there were some safeguards in place to avoid being in close contact with strangers. So this year, it's looking a little bit more normal.
Rebecca, some people watching right now might be new to the San Antonio area. How can they find details on how San Antonio does trick-or-treating?
So if you're new to San Antonio, you might be, like you were saying, a little bit maybe questioning what time is the best time to go out. And actually Halloween falls on a Sunday this year. So typically younger children go out as early as 4:30 or 5 to go trick-or-treat with their friends. Older kids may wait maybe until 7 or so when it gets a little bit darker. Traditionally, you want to stick with homes with their porch lights on. That means that they're into trick-or-treating. Obviously, if their porch lights are off, you may want to avoid that house. And typically in San Antonio, it's generally accepted that trick-or-treating should end between 9 or 10. And each community should have their own trick-or-treating event. Since Halloween is on a Sunday, some communities may have their events on a Saturday. So it's good to, check in with your own community and see what they're doing. But those are typically the general guidelines there.
That's true. We might have options this year. We might get to do things on Saturday and Sunday.
That's right.
Double the fun.
Yeah. And finally, tell us about the one-stop shop we have on KSAT.com for Halloween in general.
So on our KSAT.com homepage, we have links to Halloween stories, and that is including everything from how to trick-or-treat or where to trick-or-treat to also corn mazes to go to, haunted houses to go to. We even have community galleries where you can share your costumes, where you can share pictures of pumpkin patches and also Halloween decorations. We've seen some really cool Halloween decorations outside of homes, and we would love for you to share all of those pictures with us. Also recipes and all types of stuff. It's really just everything you can think about Halloween, we have it covered.
That's awesome. I'll probably be looking through that. This is like my favorite time of year. Rebecca Salinas, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Rebecca. Hey, real quick, we have some breaking news of a political nature. State Representative Lyle Larson represents District 122 here in the San Antonio area, has just tweeted that he is not running for re-election in 2022. He tweets, "Truly appreciate the opportunity to serve folks in Bexar County over the last 3 decades. Will not seek re-election next year. Carpe diem." This coincides, interestingly enough, Bexar County Judge Nelson Wolff just announced, a week or so ago that he's not running.
Last week he made that announcement.
That he is not running for re-election as well. So there will be a number of people vying for the Bexar County Judge spot as well.
Yes, and more on that on KSAT.com later today. We'll be right back. Hi, good morning. Welcome back. We are standing by for an ABC News special report of the Blue Origin launch in West Texas.
So it's supposed to happen at 9, and then we heard it was going to happen around 9:30. And right now we are at T-minus 14. Oh, wow. Okay, so they were holding the launch clock, and now it is rolling again. So it looks like now we are 14 minutes or a little less than 13 minutes away. That'd be less than 14, Mark. 13:44. Less than 14 minutes away from launch this morning. Don't know what the delay was earlier, but the crew is on board. They were doing final checks. And of course, one of the people on board is an actor we know fairly well.
Yeah, William Shatner, our own Captain Kirk, on board at 90 years old. So very exciting. And actually, I don't know what the holdup was, but the weather looks pretty good out there.
Well, they were going to launch the other day, and we knew that was scrubbed due to winds at higher altitudes. And of course, winds could be a problem in our atmosphere over the Lone Star State in the next day or so, because as Justin Horn joins us now via live cam, we only have the remnants of a hurricane headed this way.
If I'm being honest, I am a little surprised. I feel like the winds are still going to be fairly strong, but those folks know a lot more about that than I do. We'll see how it goes. They still have a plan, so hopefully it all goes off perfectly this morning. You see the blue skies there. But yes, the weather pattern is sort of active here over Texas. We have a storm system coming in from the west. We have some tropical moisture coming in from the Pacific, and that spells some rain for us. So let's look at the radar right now. We've got a few showers up across the San Angelo area, out towards Sonora, even a few showers around Fort Stockton. But you go west of that, it does clear out. as you just saw. We've got a lot of cloud cover here in San Antonio, but not a lot of rain. We're not expecting much today. Really, the bulk of the action is going to be tonight with some heavy rain. Temperatures already up into the 80s around Stinson, 80 in Gonzales, 81 New Braunfels. Everybody else is in the 70s, and there could be a few peaks of sun today. We're calling for just a small chance of rain through the afternoon. Then it starts to pick up as we get into this evening and tonight with better chances of rainfall, and there is a threat for some flooding tonight along I-35 and points west. That's where the best chance will be. Places in the hill country could pick up 2 to 4 inches of rain, maybe even more. There could also be a few strong storms, and we have rain chances pretty high midnight through 6 a.m. around 70 to 80% chance of rain here in San Antonio. Those rain chances will taper off tomorrow morning, and we should see some clearing by tomorrow afternoon. Guys.
Thanks, Justin. Free trade, corporate food giants have all impacted America's farms, yet what hasn't changed completely is the harvest.
The first state director of the United Farm Workers tells KSAT's Jessie Degollado what's motivated her lifelong commitment to the people in the fields who are still harvesting much of the food we all eat.
There, each with their own slice of watermelon grown by their father, pictured in his U.S. Army uniform, was his little girl Rebecca at his side. Rebecca Flores, who would become a leader in the United Farm Workers. She was a familiar figure during the UFW strikes and protests in the Rio Grande Valley decades ago. Not long after first meeting, the iconic Cesar Chavez, co-founder of the United Farm Workers.
And it was then that he told us, never forget where you came from.
Flores says she never has.
It's part of your DNA. You never forget it.
Flores would march with the man who'd inspired her, and the equally iconic UFW co-founder Dolores Huerta, demanding better pay and better working conditions.
They hired hands, right? They didn't hire a human being, they hired a hand. No breaks, no drinking water, no nothing. No toilets, absolutely nothing.
Nowadays, Flores says most farm workers are paid by how much they're able to pick, over a few hours or a few days a week. So even a higher minimum wage of $7.25 an hour, she says, still isn't enough.
I can't say that things haven't changed. I think things have, in fact, changed, but there's a lot of things that haven't changed.
Jessie Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
Businesses in San Antonio a bit brighter thanks to the work of one local artist.
And Mark Aguayo, more commonly known in the art world as Mike Hump, has put his talents to work, often painting walls both inside and outside local restaurants and stores. So his murals of music superstars and other celebrities often turn heads, and his work has made him a bit of a celebrity himself on Instagram. And he says he has no plans to slow down.
As long as there's walls and businesses and canvases being made, I'm just going to keep doing this.
While many artists find it difficult to pick a favorite painting, Aguayo says he definitely has one, a mural based on his daughter. You can see more of his works in this week's episode of This If These Walls Could Talk. Check out Katrina Weber's story on KSAT.com.
Beautiful work. Time now, 9:40, and it's about 79 degrees out there.
And if you have to run some errands this morning, right now, I-10 is not bad. A little bit of a stacking down there at the traffic light on Wurzbach at the frontage road. But traffic on the main lanes looks fantastic. It is dry now, but it's going to be a whole different story by late tonight and tomorrow morning. We'll talk more with Justin coming up. All right, the latest countdown for Blue Origin New Shepard capsule with William Shatner on board, about 5 minutes, 30 seconds away.
We'll be checking back with that. But for now, let's go ahead and check in with Justin, who's been keeping an eye on the rain that we're expecting.
It looks like we're focusing in on tonight, guys. I think that's going to be the main window when we see some of this heavy rain. There could be some flooding. We have flash flood watches in place, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. First, let's go outside for you. Mostly cloudy skies, trying to see a little sunshine through there. But all in all, a lot of clouds, and temperatures at 79 degrees at the airport, 83 Stinson, 79 Kelly, and 78 at Randolph. A good southerly wind that continues to usher in Gulf moisture. We also have Pacific moisture streaming over top of that. So a lot of moisture in place. And we're going to see that get squeezed out tonight, and that's why we're concerned about the threat for some pretty heavy rain in spots. 73 Bernie Stage, 81 Castroville, cloudy there. You can see some of these clouds working through. 78 Uvalde, 81 Del Rio, and then mostly cloudy as you get out towards Gonzales and Victoria. A little more sun there, and those temperatures may jump up a little quicker, but in the low 80s right now, and it feels so sticky out there. As far as rain goes, we haven't seen much this morning. We saw a little area of rain come out of Mexico last night, but it wasn't significant, and that's good. We don't want too much of a good thing, and I think we'll get a little bit of a break today. There are going to be showers and storms to the north and west, so if you're watching us from places like Rock Springs, Valverde County, maybe even Leakey, you could get some showers and storms certainly midday through the afternoon. If you're south and east of that, I think things will stay fairly quiet, just cloudy and humid. As we look at the bigger picture here, there is our storm system, and this is a big one. Snow on the backside of it. You got storms moving through parts of Nebraska all the way down into Oklahoma and into Texas. It's right out ahead of that front, which, by the way, is going to stall to our north and west. That we're getting that good moisture flow. So that's one component. We've got a ridge of high pressure in the Gulf of Mexico that's also helping to stream up this moisture down in the Pacific. We've been talking about Hurricane Pamela, made landfall, and now it's going to begin to weaken as it moves across the mountains of Mexico. But all that moisture is getting streamed right into Texas, and that is allowing for that chance for some heavy rain tonight. As we look at the rainfall potential, these numbers have come down just a little bit, but not much. We're talking 2 to 4 inches still in the hill country, and then 1 to 2, generally speaking, here around Bexar County, and the numbers drop off a little bit as you move south and east. But keep in mind that in any specific place, you could see up to 5, 6, maybe 7 inches of rain in some localized areas, and that obviously will cause some flooding. Flash flood watches are in effect through tomorrow evening. Basically, I-35 points west. That's where we think the heaviest of the rain will be. Here's how the futurecast looks. And by 5 o'clock, we mentioned some of those showers and storms up there across the Edwards Plateau, Del Rio, along the Rio Grande, and then that starts to spread east. As early as 10 o'clock, we could see some of that rain here in San Antonio, and that heavy rain also across the hill country. Here's where we become a bit concerned. If we see a couple more waves of this heavy rain coming through, and this shows more heavy rain around 2 o'clock, and then again maybe around 7 o'clock, that's where we could start to see some flooding, and also the morning commute obviously would be a little bit messy. We'll keep an eye on that. By midday, though, I think it is starting to scoot east, and we'll get some clearing by tomorrow afternoon, and temperatures will warm up. So here's the timeline. 80% chance of rain midnight through about 6 a.m., 70% chance of rain there at 6 a.m. But areas of heavy rain, a few strong storms too. We need to mention that there's the possibility of a couple strong to maybe severe storms popping up. And then temperatures, again, will warm up this tomorrow afternoon as the skies clear. A dew point tracker shows it's going to be humid today, tomorrow, obviously, but the dew points do drop off, and we'll get a great weekend headed our way. Forecast, there it is. Windy after that front on Friday. We'll be watching for the rain tonight. Cooler this weekend in the 70s, guys.
Justin, I want you to walk over here with this real quick. Okay. We are about a minute away from the launch out in Van Horn. Looking live right now, 1 minute, 6 seconds away from the launch of the Blue Origin capsule with the original Captain Kirk on board. And Justin, as you're looking at this, we talked a little bit earlier about those upper level winds. We've got weather between here and Van Horn, but right now it looks spectacular.
Nice. It does look nice, and they've got some brilliant scientists there working. So I would imagine that they've got this figured out. It hopefully goes on without a hitch, but it looks beautiful there right now. I don't think they're foreseeing any problems. You can see right there in the left side of your screen, there's a little windsock there. It looks like not
winds aren't bad at all. So
but a couple of days ago, the delay was because of wind.
Winds,
yes. And they had halted the clock at least once, if not twice, earlier today. A live look right now at the New Shepard capsule with Shatner on board. The launch will go quickly, and we are going to take it live here momentarily. Let's listen in for a final countdown. And we have umbilical separation, the Blue Origin rocket with the New Shepard capsule. You're looking live, which looks like a computer rendering, but is real-time video right now as they are headed into space. About 66 miles up, all said and done. This will take about only 11 minutes. And we saw a video earlier, Stephanie, actually a live picture, William Shatner looking nervous,
yes,
but excited and somewhat relaxed.
It is very exciting. 90 years old, very, very exciting. I think he was talking to Jeff Bezos earlier with some video that we were seeing.
Yeah, of course, Mr. Bezos was there. He wanted to shake hands and take a few pictures, but right now it looks like the launch is going very, very well as they are quickly headed towards low Earth orbit right now. And as we bring back in Justin Horn, and we're seeing the initial burn here, and then at some point there will be separation. That capsule will float, and then at some point the occupants, all 3 people on board, will be in that zero, that weightless atmosphere that inside the capsule.
Which is incredible to think about, right? It is pretty amazing. And this flight lasts about, what, 30 minutes or so? Is it?
About 10 to 11 minutes. I mean, it's quick.
That's quicker than I thought. Yeah, and they experienced that weightlessness for just a few minutes. But I can imagine that it's just an incredible feeling. And they're probably getting close to that, huh?
That looks cool.
So the initial burn does continue now. You can tell that they are getting higher up into the atmosphere because we went from blue to essentially black, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, no, they're at the altitude now where you can clearly see the curvature of the Earth from inside the capsule, but you're still looking at a ground shot right now. Again, looking live.
Amazing.
We've been tracking. We were hoping this launch was going to happen around 9 and then 9:30. It has been closer to 10 o'clock, but as we said, now there is the live look looking back down towards Van Horn, Texas.
Wow.
Out there in the West Texas desert.
I wonder what the delay was earlier. I'm just glad they were able to actually take off.
Yeah, me too. And if you know, you may have heard Shatner talk about the last couple of days. He was joking around that he was a little nervous about this. I think initially he was like, "Yes, sign me up. Go at warp speed factor, whatever it was."
I liked how he joked around. He said he better not see a little gremlin outside his window.
Yeah, and he was, of course, joking about, if you're old school, one of the original episodes of The Twilight Zone, a very young William Shatner on board a plane with a creature out on the wingtip. And then, okay, so now we're looking right now, it looks like some of the sparks from the initial burn of that rocket booster.
Okay.
And we may be approaching separation of the main rocket body from the New Shepard capsule itself.
Does that look like it? I can't see.
Hard to say. Yeah, it's hard to tell right now. You're seeing it along with us. We haven't rehearsed any of this right now. We're live right now. ABC was planning some coverage, but KSAT, we are all over this right now for the launch of Blue Origin. And it's hard to tell because that one ground-based shot right now on the right side of your screen, it's very hard to make out exactly what's happening right now.
Looks like
actually we've got separation.
Yeah, that's separation there, right?
Okay, so the capsule is now separated from the main booster itself. And what's interesting, unlike NASA missions we've seen in the past, there's usually a lot of chatter from the crew or ground control.
I was about to say, we haven't heard anything.
It's very quiet.
Yeah.
At least we have the pictures.
We do.
That's good.
And things appear to be going very, very well right now. Now, maybe to get the audio feed, you have to have Amazon Prime.
It's an extra cost.
I'm not real sure. But,
next time, next launch.
But Justin, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't this the booster that one of the ones that also returns to Earth autonomously? And
I believe so.
Lands on its own.
It's all
reusable
all one thing. Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
How many minutes? I'm trying to see. How many minutes have we been up?
I don't see a countdown clock going the other way right now, but we know that separation has already taken place. We have no other information. While you guys are chatting, I'm going to look up the Blue Origin Twitter account real quick and see if they have an update, because they were saying earlier that the New Shepard launch was a go, hashtag NS18. I'm seeing nothing else from Blue Origin right now.
Yeah.
And Steph, you mentioned you were surprised they had a little bit of delay earlier. You know that there are so many components to this. If even one little thing is off, they're going to delay it because safety is so paramount. But
I can imagine.
Even the weather plays a huge role in that, and that's why they delayed it earlier, because of the winds. But undoubtedly, everything worked out perfectly this morning, or they wouldn't have done it. And so far, it looks pretty good. Looks like everything's going exactly as planned.
I'm looking right now, as we're looking live at the separation of the booster and the capsule. It looks like they created a commemorative coin for today's launch, and they may do this for all of them, but I'm looking at it right now and I'm reading the description. It says, "You will be known in history for taking a pioneering first towards millions of people living and working in space to benefit Earth," on the commemorative coin for this space flight.
And William Shatner officially becomes the oldest person in space, correct?
At 90 years old.
He does.
That's
and one can only imagine right now what William Shatner is thinking in that capsule up in low Earth orbit. I have a pretty good idea once he gets on the ground, if he can talk, if he is able to gather his thoughts, he will be like, it was very much like, I can't do a very good Kirk.
That actually wasn't bad.
Now, I think he will.
Mike Osterhage does it much, much better than I do right now.
So we're on our way back down, are we not? Or
yeah, this is the booster on its way on the return flight back down to the launch
see
pad.
The separation there.
And we were talking about how quickly the whole launch sequence, the whole flight goes. The return of that booster happens very, very quickly. And just like the whole thing taking off, it doesn't look real. It looks like a computer rendering.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
Of the booster. And now it's headed back down very quickly under controlled flight, onboard computers running very well right now as it heads back towards its designated launch spot. Looks like it's about to fire its booster to...
It's like a self-driving car. It's so amazing to watch.
Fire a braking booster here as it heads on down. So no other information right now. We know everything has gone very well.
It looks good so far.
We do. So we're going to continue to track the booster and the flight of William Shatner on board. Look for more coming up online at KSAT.com and, of course, on the news at noon.
Have a great day.